What is up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. My name's Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you, as always, to upgrade your skills before your gear. Now, excuse me. I was trying to clear my throat before the live stream, and then I realized that my microphone was hot during the intro scene, so excuse me if you heard me coughing before. But that's what I was trying to do. Now that things are, pipes are clear, we're back to it. If it is your first time here, welcome. Please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so you can be part of what we got going on here, especially today, which we're going to be doing a giveaway. So the giveaway is something that I'm really excited about because it's something that I created from scratch, and now it's available to be consumed by the world, and now I have something to gift, especially in this holiday season. So that's super cool, and I'm excited about that as well. So like I said, if it is your first time here, welcome. The first thing that we always do before we get into things is check out to see who are the first members of the crew hanging out in the chat. So let's go ahead and do that next. All right. Boom. All right, we got Randy in the house saying hi to everyone. And he's saying hi to Paul, to Gretchen as well. Says, please give a like. Absolutely. This is stuff that I always forget to do. But right now, if you're one of the early watchers, please give a like. It's highly appreciated. It's absolutely free. Mookie's also in the house. He's saying, hello, everyone. I'm snowed in and feel fine about it since I plan to be here to see the big show. Tomorrow morning, I will be shoveling myself free. That's interesting, man. Well, I hope that you have an amazing night and a pretty good morning, especially with you already knowing that you have to shovel. All right. We got Mr. Parker Jennings in the house saying hello to everyone. Gretchen saying hi to Randy, to Parker. As always, the early birds in the chat. Absolutely. Always appreciate it. She's also saying hi to me and to the crew. And also to Aiden hanging out in the back. He's having a good day today. He's having a lot of fun. Paul's in the house saying greetings and happy holidays to everyone. That's part of this season, right? We got the music going. But absolutely happy holidays to all of you as well. Whoa, long time no see. Sammy Superstar in the house waving in. How you doing, bro? So glad that you can make it tonight. Says film canister on the overhead camera against the window. Paul is wasting no time. He ended up last show with I think is that what you found last week? I don't remember what it was that you found, but damn, he got the film canister right there. And the funny thing is, on the intro scene, I was trying to hide it. That's why I flipped up the LCD. You see that front scene, like the first intro scene, like I was trying to hide it there. So, but Paul's already on the board with 1 point, getting the film canister, wasting 0 time. Good job on you. All right, let's continue over here. We also have Randy in the house saying, this is why I live in the South. When it snows, it doesn't last long. Never been snowed in, but lost power due to frozen pipes now and then. Yeah, I remember, like, what was it, a couple of years ago when it got real bad over there in the Texas, Oklahoma area. Yeah, a lot of busted pipes. And there was actually some content creators who had moved to Texas and then dealt with that. And it was actually, I believe, if I am correct, Sarah Dici and her husband that like had bought something in that area, and then they were dealing with an old infrastructure and all the pipes blew, and it's just very unfortunate. But I think they're doing much better now. They've created people themselves. I said, good going, Paul. Absolutely. Says, I upgrade my gear to upgrade my skills. Well, you see, this is the whole thing. That's part of it, right? Sometimes we expect the gear to do the work for us when we actually need to maximize on what these cameras can do. Because I could honestly tell you, any camera that's been made in the last 10 years, it's kind of hard for you to get bad content out of it. You know, especially if we're talking about like a full-size camera. Now, if we're talking about webcams, you know, that give or take, especially 10 years ago. But as of right now, like, it's really hard for you to not be able to level up your gear even on a budget. Like, for example, I picked up this microphone that I use for my phone, right? Wireless, with the little charger, the box, magnets, everything. And I think this was like $12.99, and you can still find it for like under $15, which is ridiculous. To be able to get good audio with noise cancellation built into this little device with, you see, like powered up little like box, and this is like so tiny, like this fits anywhere. And like I said, the audio is definitely good enough. 12 bucks kind of like a no-brainer to be able to get pretty decent equipment nowadays. Kevin's also made it. He's saying hello to everyone. How you doing, Kev? Thank you for hanging out, sir. See everybody saying hi to him. 5'7" inches. Whoa, that's a lot. Says in this round, but expected to be 58 degrees on Wednesday. Okay, so that at least it'll, yeah, soon be gone. Woo. But 5 to 7, man, that's a lot. Saying yes. Says we lost power this week during the rainstorms, and I'm hoping it gets colder. We need the snow here in the PNW. Oh, wow. You need the snow. You see, that's interesting. I would like to get to know more about why it would be needed. I'm thinking you guys would always try to like put it off as much as possible, especially with orchards and things like that you guys got going on over there in the farmlands. And then Randy, before I go to continue, says, I see a lot of flooding in Washington, Canada areas on the news. Wow. I haven't really been paying attention to the news, but that's why you guys are amazing, because you guys keep me up to date. But what is that we're doing today? Well, today we're hanging out. It's the holidays, right? And if you were here last week, you were able to you found out that I made something new. And if you're just finding out this week, let me inform you. Let me fill you in. Last week, I got my hands on, or was it the week before? I'm already losing. Actually, about 10 days ago. I think it was like on the 3rd. I got my hands on a new set of anamorphic prime lenses, the set of the Blazar Beetle lenses. These are very small, compact. They don't have an aperture adjustment. They are T3.2, and they are fixed at that, and that's where they're able to make it so compact, because they're not adding a complete different aperture, you know, setup, especially with anamorphic apertures, because of the oval shape of the aperture itself, that it would just be too much hardware to fit in such a small package. So they set an f3.2 to it, which is like a good happy zone of being, you know, bokeh, but also, you know, sharp enough that you're able to use, and not everything is like super, you know, like razor sharp focus or field of focus. So, but its main key feature, believe it or not, is that it actually switches and it rotates. So if it were to be on the camera, with the press of this little button right here, you're able to rotate it, and you can see the element on the inside flip. So you're able to use it in vertiscope, which is a new term that I've learned recently, which is when you use your camera in a vertical position, but still using an anamorphic lens. But all this is to say is that I just now got my hands on a set of anamorphic lenses, and now I'm just diving into the world of anamorphic cinema glass. And you know me, I'm always glass before ass. Optics are always more important than the camera bodies, and that's what I was referenced to before with Mr. Kirk, right? Turk, or let me get his name right. Kirk, yeah. No, Kruk. King Kruk. let me register that, because if I register it incorrectly, I will always say it incorrectly. So Mr. Crook over here, Mr. King Crook, um that's where, like really having a lot of fun, and like I said, diving deep into this new world of anamorphic lenses. So now that I got these lenses, one of the things that I love doing the most is live streaming. And when it comes to live streaming, there up to this point, there wasn't a way for you to use anamorphic lenses because of the squeeze factor, and you wouldn't be able to do that unless you're adjusting it in post-production, which is you would record the film with this squeeze factor in, and then once you get it onto your editor, you're able to de-squeeze it or stretch it out so that the proportions are correct, and the lens now gives you a wider field of view with recording, and it gives you certain aspects and certain I would say aberrations or quirks that you would say that adds to your footage that kind of give it that signature cinema feel and look. And that's what anamorphics are all about. There's some content creators out there that are just all the rage about it. But now that I got my hands on it, like I said, there was nothing that was there available to use this on the fly with a live streaming setup. So I saw the need that I had in my setup, and I was like, I would love to use this lens right here on my camera, but I mostly do Zoom calls, Zoom meetings, live streams. Like, this is officially, we're into year number 6 of my weekly live stream here. So now, with that being said, I figured out that there was something that I needed, and I hunkered down and I decided to become a app creator, right? An app developer. And I started asking Chat GPT what were the steps that I needed to do, what were the programs that I needed, and what was the language that I needed to learn how to write applications for Mac computers. And I dove in, and once I broke, like the surface, and I came up for air, I had completed something that was beyond my wildest dreams, which is what I'm using right now, which is the MCJ Anamorphic NDI application. And what I was able to do was create an application that grabs the video feed, whether it's your video capture card, direct camera to USB, or any other type of webcam that might be utilizing an anamorphic lens and giving you that type of output, and taking that information and now de-squeezing it on the fly and then sending it back over the network through NDI. And if you're like me, then you're using Ecamm, which is right up here, to do your live streams, to do your recordings, your Zoom meetings. I have Ecamm on all day, every day as a camera junkie. And now I have that feed going directly into it that allows me to utilize the anamorphic goodness of these lenses on a live stream. And once I was done with that application, and like I said, I came up for air, the next step that I came about, or the next thought that I had was, what is the next step that I need to take to see if I can share this with the world and put this on the App Store, because I have something that I created I didn't even know was going to be possible, and went through all those steps. And in a week's time, I went from having just diving into anamorphic lenses to coming out of the other end with a full-fledged application on the Apple App Store. And that's an achievement that I'm so proud to say that I am now officially, I'm officially an app developer for Apple, and I have an application on the Apple App Store, which is, but with that being said, that's also what I'm giving away tonight. You know what? I forgot to set up I wanted to do the duck race. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about as far as the giveaway goes. So with this new power of development, I also have the ability to give away these applications to people who are going to be testing them out. And that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. And now I said I actually have something that I can give, and it's like something viable that's helping out in the community. One of the cool things that happened this week as well is one of my content creator friends that Mr. Cam Mackey. I gave him this application, and he's one of the ones who's been asking for something like this for quite some time. He's absolutely like in love with anamorphic lenses. And with that being said, he went live a couple of days ago and started using the application. And I was in the chat, and he ran it for like a couple of hours, and I was just ecstatic. It's like the feeling that I got of having somebody else use this application. And then as soon as he was done with the live stream, I will share this with you guys. Like, his first message to me was, I love it. And I was like, no better words could have been said to me at that moment. It was just, I think the resonance and the joy that I got from that is still lingering on till today. I just can't take this smile off my face, and now I'm even more excited to be able to share it with the community and all of you in doing this giveaway. So that's what today's all about. If you're still not understanding what this is about, let me elaborate a little bit more. And I'm going to go into what I call my cinema scene, which is where the cinema gets really stretched out and we get the bars, the black bars on the top and bottom. All right. So I click this scene, and as you can see, this is full width anamorphic on the Beetle 32 millimeter f3.2 at anamorphic squeeze of 1.33 on my Sony A7R2, and it gives me this wide view, which is something that I've been looking for a while. Like, actually, my comments window before was me looking to get this, which is more of like an intimate feel, but still giving you this like extreme, amazingly wideness. And over here, I don't know if you can see him, but I got Mr. Aiden hanging out asking me for something. Oh well, it doesn't fail. Aiden's toy just finished its battery life, so let's go ahead and replace that for him. Give me 1 second, buddy. Okay, let's see. That didn't work. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat as well. Let's go back to that scene. Boop, boop. While I replace these batteries for Mr. Aiden. Give me a second. This is another story just to add. Most of Aiden's toys are battery powered. So when they die out, he brings them to me, and I'm, daddy fix it. And I'll come over here and I'll replace the batteries. And like I said, most of his toys work off batteries. And as soon as they die, he's able to hand them to me. I'm able to replace the batteries, and within minutes, give him back a working toy, which is very, like, that's what he wants. Now, oops. He also enjoys playing with his iPad, and that's where I'm having trouble, because that's the only gadget that takes electricity that I can't just easily get back up and running. So when the batteries die on the iPad, it needs to charge, and that time of it being down, he's just like, why aren't you giving it to me right away? Like, everything else works this way. and, and I've been working him into understanding that the iPad is not something that I can bring or get back to him right away, but that's the dilemma that I deal with. Okay, so I got the replacement batteries now. And dad duties 24/7. Uh-oh. That did not fix it. Oh, yes, it did. There we go. All right. Let's put something a little bit more lively in the music. This one? Yep. Oh, no, that's the one we started with. That one. There we go. DJ Junkie in the house as well. Bam. Here you go, buddy. All right. All right. So now I was talking about the anamorphic and that I was going to bring the comments, but I just continued. All right. I think Gretchen's answering my question. Winter snowpack is needed. Eastern Washington, where I grew up, is basically a desert, and the orchards were require irrigation, and all the water comes from the snow melted in the mountains. Wow, you see? Thank you for that. See, like I couldn't put it together, and I was like, why? You know, like most people, like I guess my experience from people in New York, they're not worried about farming and water and stuff like that, so they're just like, I hate snow. Sammy says that's wonderful that you made a Mac app. Absolutely, man. That's something that I honestly got to tell you, I definitely surprised myself. So you're an app developer. Yep, that's added to the resume. And with what Doc told me today, a professional, what was it? Professional talker. I'm gonna add that to the list as well. Ageless Picks in the house saying, what's up? I like that. What's up? MCJ Hong Kong in the building. Man, look at this. Thank you for taking the time and hanging out from across the world, all the way over in Hong Kong. That's amazing. See, I gotta hit a marker here, because those are things that I need to add to my awesome folder, just, you know, for those rainy days. Jim Mundi in the house say, wow, that's amazing. Mind-blowing for sure. Well done. Thank you, man. I'm just excited. Like, I think there was 2 downloads before, like, Mr. Cam Mackey went live. So, like, before anyone had ever even seen it in action, like, I think there was already a couple of downloads. Like, I don't know if those were just the ones that I gave out as far as, like, you know, like the promo codes, or if those were just done, because I still don't really know. It's all brand new. It's been like about a week, so it's all brand new, and I don't know exactly how the data from Apple is gonna work. Like, I'm just all new to it, so I'm probably gonna have to research on how that works as well. So yeah, but I'm here for it. I'm like, I can't tell you, like, I'm excited. Oh, my space is getting low, so it's probably gonna quit recording this about halfway, but it'll be on YouTube, so if I really need it, I'll get it from there. Thank you, Kevin. He's saying congrats. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, this is something, like, I'm really proud of this, and I'm excited for what it can lead to in the future. Oh, Paul's 2 for 2 today. He's on his way for the hat trick. He says, thumbs up on the bed of the 3D printer behind you. Absolutely. And Paul, you pretty much just caught up as far as the leaderboard goes, because that's been on there for weeks. And I gotta tell you, I think I know what was happening, but you were the first one to take advantage. All the other weeks, I didn't have Christmas lights or anything in the back. So I was actually turning on the lights of my 3D printer right back there. And I think the glare of the light was creating like a light shield, not allowing it to be seen. And I'll demonstrate that now. It had been like that for weeks, and I don't think it was like the contrast was there. See? But today, regardless if it was the contrast or not, Mr. Paul Duncan got the thumbs up on the printer that had been there. Yep, my local recording just finished, just stopped, but the thumbs up that had been there for weeks. I know it had been there at least 4 weeks, so it could be 4 or 5 points just on that one alone. Alone. I think the Paul Duncan words are rubbing off on me. That was a good call, but no, you got it. Yep, Randy's also saying that. Good going. Says, I'm going to get my eyes checked if I can't see this book in the background. My eyesight needs new glasses. I think you're doing okay, Randy. It says, LOL, you could put a V mount battery on the iPad. That's actually a good idea, Sammy. You know, this entire time I wasn't even thinking about trickle charging it. That's a good idea, Sammy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll see if I can make something out of it. There we go. Right. It says, I like the look. I don't have any anamorphic lenses. Oh, I know, but to tell you another thing, it's also, I think it's like I'm striking while the iron's hot, because this isn't something that's commonplace in live streams and been used. So anamorphic lenses have always been sparse in use. But now Suray and a couple of other companies are really like diving in the same way. So Suray last year had come out with a set of APS-C or Super 35 anamorphic lenses that have autofocus. Just like a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, they just released a new set of full frame anamorphic lenses with a much more like significant squeeze factor, and that also has to do with the amount of glass, because the more glass that's in the lenses that are going to make them bigger and heavier is what's going to give even more of that light compression to give that anamorphic effect, which is, like I said, is just now starting to kick off. And with this change in technology, or this new access to this type of lenses, and now in autofocus form, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of it, because solo creators can now utilize that same type of look and feel in their content, even if they're not doing live streams, right? Just having the autofocus and being able to not have a need for a focus puller with the use of this anamorphic style lenses, I think is going to now start to spawn to see a lot more of content being made with these lenses. And if I can, you know, help it myself, I'm hoping that this application also gives another push for the same type of lenses to be, you know, like I guess R&D'd even more, right, within these companies, because there's DZO, there's quite a few, including Blazar, and I'm just, you know, putting my part in it as well, that if now on top of just for post-production work we can use anamorphics, but we can use them now on live streams like I'm demonstrating, then it could make a whole new, or it can make a big difference in the push for more anamorphic lenses, and it at a less expensive price. And I gotta tell you the truth, guys, I was looking at them, like, they're not that much more expensive. The Super 35 Suray, I think it was a 20 millimeter. I think it's selling for like $500, which is not out of this world when we're talking about a T. I think it was a like T1.9, right? So pretty fast lens, you know, with aperture control, anamorphic, 1.33, Super 35, $500, and with autofocus. Like, it's not just a manual lens that you're spending $500 on. No, with autofocus, which is where I'm just like sitting here with my jaw dropped. I'm like, that's pretty amazing, and I'm seeing more and more of it in the market. So I'm hoping that this starts taking off, because then, in all sincerity, my app is actually positioned in a really good place to actually be utilized for both Ecamm users, or, you know, vMix users, OBS users, because the app is not specific to Ecamm. It is an NDI feed, so any NDI receiver or system that can receive that signal, you'd be able to broadcast a descosified, you know, and a corrected, adjusted anamorphic signal to those systems, and then be able to use it on a live, which is like, I'm just, you know, thinking, imagine like 2 or 3 cameras with anamorphic lenses, you know, like on the outskirts of like a concert, you know, and having someone controlling it and being able to de-squeeze these images and use them live to give like a widescreen effect broadcast over the internet live. Like it's just it's just the beginning, and I'm really excited for the potential and where this could lead. I really am. I'm just like, I'm giddy almost. So thank you, Sammy. Says, how much is the app? I'm actually selling it for $20, and that's just one time price, right? And you own it forever. Now, this is the core edition. And what I'm planning is that if the market shows, you know, like validity, like people are purchasing the app for $20 and they're using it, and now this becomes a thing, that version 2 is going to have all the added things that I'm already thinking about adding to it. So right now, like Mr. Cam Mackey was already giving me his first bit of feedback because he had a full frame camera, but he was using a Super 35 anamorphic lens, which is his favorite. And like it started giving a vignetting, so he asked, hey, maybe we can have a zoom in feature or like a Super 35 or APS-C mode inside of the application before we start de-squeezing it, so we can get the like the best of both worlds. And I was like writing it down already, just so to know that that would be in like version 2 or NDI Pro, right? The Pro version, which I already have like a lot of ideas for, like multicam support, so that you can actually connect multiple cameras and have one application running. Just my mind is going like crazy with all the different things that I want out of this application, but it all starts with the core, which is what I was able to make. It's the foundation on what I'll be building everything else on. And like I mentioned before, that's what I'm really excited about, because it has so much potential, and I'm here for it because I'm super excited with this new skill, and I want to dive deeper into that as well, and seeing how I'm going to take this core and build it out to the pro version, you know, the version 2.0, that's going to have all the bells and whistles, LUT support, right? Just there's so many different things that I'm already thinking about this application, and I know that I have the ability to create it, which is crazy that not even a year ago, but not even a month ago, I would have ever been thinking that I'm talking in forms of developing applications and having them out there for the masses to use. Is just crazy. Like last week was the first official anamorphic live stream that we did right here, demonstrating the application. But then at the same time, I'm also even thinking, like, we're creating history. Like, you know, if everything goes according to plan, right? We're gonna be seeing a lot more of this, and the world of anamorphic lenses and video is gonna like just broaden tenfold, and that's the plan. Not corner market, but create the market, right? And it brings me back to Cam Mackey's live stream just a couple of days ago, because it kind of it sells itself. People were asking right away, what lens are you using, what camera are you using? And that's just what happens naturally in camera content creators, you know, that do camera content, are going to be asked during live streams, like Josh Satin, myself, so many people that were constantly being asked, like, what is that you're using exactly? And that conversation spawns up naturally, and that natural conversation led to Mr. Cam Mackey just going back and forth of explaining to everyone that the app is what is allowing him to use his anamorphic lenses. And like I said, that feeling is just second to none. um, I gotta give it up to Ken and Glenn, you know, being an inspiration of the creators of Ecamm, something that I've been using, and I've never once thought that I would even be like those dudes are real programmers, right? I'm more than a novice, but those guys are real programmers. And to be able to create something that is just like in addition to their application is something like I said, I take a lot of pride in, because like what do you give to someone that can basically buy anything for themselves? Is like something that doesn't even exist before, and that's where my app falls in. You know, like it was something that wasn't here and now is here, and I'm able to like pass it forward. I'm super excited. It says, according to docs, several of us get to put professional talker on her. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, soon enough, you'll be coding with Ken and Glenn. Like, I haven't even read that. Like, I'm far from that, but I'll be happy to help them in any way, shape, or form that I can. So this is going to be a stretch. Meet two behind you on the night, sideways next to the orange filament by near the camera. Okay, so let me read this correctly. It says it's going to be a stretch. Meet two behind you on your right. So on my right behind me. Oh, let me bring that back up. Let's see if he's got the sideways next to the orange filament near the camera. I'm gonna say nice try, but that's a no. But good one, Paul. Okay, Kevin says, that's my project for the next stream. Get my NAS, yep, powered back on and connected to the network. Okay, that's cool. Says, I did some streams with anamorphic lenses, but had, okay, let me see, to an external monitor to de-squeeze because he didn't have. I'm not sure what they're saying. Well, were you able to do it successfully, Sammy? Because, you know, I could be wrong. It could not have been the world's first, but it was the first with the app. So we'll leave it there. But because that's what I was trying before I even created the app. I was trying to get the de-squeeze from the monitor, but the monitors itself, well, at least the one that I have, weren't passing over that signal. You know? So, and then I tried to get it directly from the camera. Likewise, it's not doing it. That the monitor is doing the de-squeeze because the camera itself, and this is my FX30, the one hanging up there, that actually has anamorphic support, would not send that signal out. And then when my monitor would adjust it, I was hoping that I can tap into that monitor and get the de-squeeze, but it wasn't. It was still coming in all squozified. And for that reason is why I made the app. So let me know if you actually were able to do it successfully. You're giving the congrats. Close, but no cigar. Let's go. Take out the bleacher, some theme parks, and see some live feeds with an extra field of view. Absolutely, right? Because that's the other thing. And you know what's something that just hit my mind the other day, because, you know, just, I guess, daydreaming on the potential of the application. But I was just listening to like a podcast or something, or maybe it was just like, you know, while I was working a YouTube video. But schools, like, I hadn't even thought of that. And I'm like, imagine if schools decide to pick up this application for their computers, just so that they can use it in their, you know, like in their AV department. And let's say like each school has about 15, maybe 20 computers that are in the AV department particular that would use this application. And that could be a potential, you know, sales, because it was something. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I was thinking about it. It was the application on the Apple side when they were like, are you okay with like giving a discount for schools? And I'm like, hell's yeah. I'm like, hell's yeah, absolutely. And that's when I was just like, whoa, like I had, like, these are things, like I said, I just came up for air on the other side with an application in hand. And like, I wasn't thinking about the potential in what this could do. I was just thinking about the final outcome. And now that I can sit back and think about those things is where I'm really like, wow, this does have potential. So imagine, like I said, schools all throughout the United States and maybe even around the world that, you know, could have an AV department and say like, hey, look, this is a drop in the bucket $20 application that we can just add to like our 15, 20 computers to give them a, you know, an added, you know, de-squeezing for anamorphic lenses for NDI and live productions, which is or even school productions, but just all recordings. And that's the cool part, right? Because now I have the ability to use Ecamm and have this recording like on the fly. So let me show you as well how easy it is to get anamorphic onto your onto your like onto your stream or anything with Ecamm. Now right now what you're seeing is a graphic overlay, right? And I have a camera feed on top of it, and the anamorphic is allowing the squeeze. But I'm gonna go to what I call my producer mode, right? Which is just basically the let me hit the P right there. Yep. Okay, so this is my producer mode, and this allows me to just basically use my camera switcher to switch to any camera. So from one click, I can go from my Camlink 4K, which is this is my Nikon Z30, right? Then I go to my red camera, which is what you're seeing here. And then I can click my anamorphic, which is right here. But this is what Ecamm does with it. It's going to take the feed and fill in everything. But now I'm going to go into live demo mode to show you how easy it is to get anamorphic, even if you're using Ecamm in its basic form. Okay. So let's say you're not into overlays and you just have an anamorphic lens, and now you want to get this onto your feed. Okay, Aiden, what's up? Okay, give me a quick second right there. Oh, that I saw like a glitch. I got to double check that. Okay, Aiden. He usually comes around 11, but he's about 10 minutes early. You know, he's usually my timer on that. What does Gretchen say here? Quosified. Yes, that's gonna be a new word now that we're gonna be hearing a lot. Scosified, yeah, scosified. That's what anamorphic lenses do. But going back to it, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to get anamorphic out of it. So, for example, let's say, actually, let me go into the live demo mode so that you can see what I'm talking about. Now you're seeing everything on my screen, right? You're seeing my camera switcher over here, right? And I have access to all my cameras. Like the camera feed directly from the video capture card is gonna look like that. See, it's all scosified, like we were just saying. And this is unusable. So right away, I would select my unscosified or descosed image, and now it fits the frame, but I'm trying to get that extra juice out of it. Well, Ecamm makes it super easy because right here in our camera effects window, we have this little clicker here for the digital zoom. And the zoom is digital zoom, right? Gives you the ability to zoom in on any of your shots. But what it also does is it allows you to zoom out. So instead of going in, we're going to go in the opposite direction. And now when we zoom out, we're discovering and showing all the anamorphic juiciness that's available in our shot. So this is -12. We'll leave it there. And now as you can see that the graphic behind is showing, but let's say you didn't even have a graphic, right? If I just shut the graphic off temporarily, then this is the look that you're gonna get. You're just gonna get more of the wideness of the image, and at the same time, you're gonna get the black bars on top and bottom. And that's as simple as it is, right? Like Ecamm makes it super simple, and I just have a companion app to go with it. It's easy, it's simple to send that signal over, and then, like I said, you just with this digital slider here, you take it, to your desired desquoze length, and you're able to demonstrate that on it, and you go -13, see, -12 right there, bam, and now you're anamorphic. And that's how easy it is to go anamorphic with my application and Ecamm. Just take your digital slider and go in the opposite direction to show more of the image that you have available to you, and that's it. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the backdrop again on there right there. And that's the producer mode. And now I'm gonna go and turn off live demo. So we're back to this, and you see, and this is the anamorphic shot that you can get out of it. Now let me see if it'll save that. It should hold that right there. So if I were to go to like this shot, right, it'll move there. But if I go back to producer mode, bam, yep, see, keeps it nice and wide. Super, super easy. And that's why we're here. But now, if you've been here the entire time, or if you just got here, but you're here now, then we're going to figure out how I'm going to do the giveaway. So now, if you're someone who's interested in being part of the giveaway and want to get your hands on this application, then I would just need you to right now in chat type in NDI, right? Capital NDI, which is the signal that we're using to transmit all of this. So just type in NDI in the chat and I'll be able to find out exactly who's interested in the app. Some of you might have it already, right? But some of you might just be here for the giveaway aspect as well. So let's see how we're going to do that. All right. And while I'm waiting for you guys to type in NDI, we are going to do something else before we forget. Hold on, where is it? There we are. Bam. I got so many scenes. Snap decisions. All right. So if it's your first time, well, let me explain that. Snap decisions is basically a would you rather type of conversation. This is also part where you get to partake in the chat here because I want to know what you think of these questions. So we've been doing this every single week for about like, well, I forgot how far along we've been, but it's something that I've been having a lot of fun in with the discussion, especially hearing from you. So let's hear what you got. But this week in Snap Decisions, let's go ahead and see what's the first question. Oh, and this is holiday edition, so we're throwing it a little into the Christmas season. All right. All right, Paul. I gotta give it to Paul. Paul has nailed it. He did the hat trick today, and is definitely climbing the leaderboards. I just need to get all those numbers together, but I'm using chat to help me out. But enough about that. He nailed it. He says, where's it? It says new guest, me too, on top of the lens on the top row near the big E, which is the big E right here. And as you can see it, if I just twist over to the side, I think you can see exactly what he's talking about. On top of the camera, next to the big E, which the next to the big E is where you nailed it, okay? Because it's actually a battery, but with the bokeh, I wouldn't expect you to know if it was a camera or anything else. So he nailed it right there. We got the Me Too, Paul, man. Good on you, man. He got all three. He got the hat trick. So he found all three Easter eggs today, which is Matt Haas's thumbs up, the gold Kodak canister, and the Me Too. All right. You are cooking, sir. Oh, we got Raymond in the house. How you doing, sir? Saying what's up, brother. Says movie theater feel, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's what Cam was doing on that live stream as well. You know, when you go anamorphic, that is what I'm calling this scene, anamorphic, right? It's still squoze, but now you see it gives that perfect space for the comments at the bottom. Absolutely loving it, man. Does the letterbox look? Yep. Thank you for the you know, for that bit of information. My brain be farting sometimes. Also gives a natural space for the comment box. Yep, we were just talking about that. Like, perfect space for the comment box. Okay, so we got our first NDI here. There you go. Only triple header. Yes, Paul really crushed it today. He says, my work is done. You know what that just reminded me of? My work is done, of Austin Powers. Whenever he would finish photography, he'd be like, spent. Oh, classic movies, man. All right, so seeming, and this is just how it works. Seeming that Mr. Raymond is the only one who's interested in the giveaway for today, then guess what? We have our winner right there. I don't need to pull up duck races or anything like that if we only have one person in the race. But I am excited to be able to send that over to you. So just like before, hit me up. I believe on IG is how we've communicated before. Shoot me a DM right over there, and just as a reminder, and saying, hey, what's up, NDI man? And I will shoot you over the promo code that will allow you to download this app directly from the App Store. And like I said, it will forever be yours. And this way you'll be able to go live or create live productions with anamorphic lenses on the fly, which is like, guys, like if you really think about it, like that's gonna be so cool seeing anamorphic live streams and that becoming a norm, right? Like who, like, just saying, like, what if now ultra wide screens become a norm of television, right? Like extra ultra wide, like 2x1s, not just like 1080s, but hey, who knows? That's a possibility. I still think, like Paul was saying, we'll still get the letterbox, and we're fine with it. At least I am. But in that whole aspect, like there's just infinite possibilities, and I'm excited for it. So, all right. So Mr. Raymond wins it, and just trying to keep that within the time frame. The next thing that we're going to be doing is the snap decisions, because I kind of got thrown off with Paul winning big. W's in the chat for Paul. All right. Snap decisions. Question number 1. This is where you guys, I need to see your responses in the chat. Would you rather get camera gear as a gift every year or get uninterrupted time to create during the holidays? That's interesting. So what would you rather, get camera gear as a gift every year or get uninterrupted time to create during the holiday seasons? That's very, very interesting. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, man? Saying, hello, mate. I'm late, but I made it. Yes, sir. But hey, I did the giveaway already if you were here for the giveaway. But if you're interested in my application, the NDI, I would also tell you, Andrew, just shoot me a message on IG and I'll see what I can do for you. I should be able to hook you up. I know a guy. All right, so I'm seeing some of the responses. Paul says gift. He'd rather be gifted. Camera gear as a gift. I got the time, says Paul. Gretchen says camera gear as gift. Kevin says camera gear because I have a lot of time to create. So you see, Randy's also gift, yeah. I feel the same sentiment. I'm like, I'm always, even if I don't have it, I will always have time to create. So for example, because it's something that I want to do so much, it's not something that I feel like that I have to do or carve time out. I have to carve time out to do the rest of the things in my life, right? Like I don't like picking up the mail or doing dishes. Those are the things that I have to do, right? Creating content is what I love to do. So like I sit here and I'm bothered when I have to stop editing. Like I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like every time that I'm being distracted, squirreled off of what my main mission is of like me creating something, it's like, well, I was speaking to my father. I go, how long would it take us to get to Orlando from here, from South Florida, if we're pulling over at a rest stop like every 30 minutes? Right? A 3-hour drive is going to take us forever, right? It's going to take us all day if we make it. If every half an hour that we hit the road, we're veering off to a detour. So that's exactly how I feel whenever I'm being pulled to do everything else. So I would agree with that, saying camera gear as gifts. because I will always be making the time. Even if I'm dead tired, that's when you see me. I pulled an all-nighter because I was so zoned in when everybody went to sleep that I was able to create from 1 a.m. to like 5 a.m. And a good 4-hour chunk of uninterrupted zoning in onto something will get you so far, which is, like I said, I'll always make time even if I don't have it. He goes, hey, camera gear, as long as it isn't nothing but lenses. Is it as long as it isn't nothing but lenses? So you're just saying, like, give me all the lenses. Well, I'm with you, man. Like, oh, nothing but lens wipes. I didn't see the last part. That's like getting fruitcake, right? For the holidays. Hey, cheers to you too, sir. Okay, so now question number 2 of would you rather? Would you rather shoot holiday family photos for everyone you know or edit everyone's holiday videos for free? Okay, so gonna re-ask the question. Would you rather shoot holiday family photos for everyone you know or edit everyone's holiday videos for free? It depends, and this is where I'm gonna put it. Okay, this is my take on it. If it's shooting family photos for everyone that I know when we're at a family get together, there's no way I'm doing that. There's no way I'm gonna like waste time like that. Now, if it's something that we can set up ahead of time, right? Like the beginning half of December to do the holidays, or maybe even before Thanksgiving to just kind of knock them all out, I'm doing the family photo shoot. Yep. And the second one, just putting it out there because that was the question. The second one is the one that said that you would do it for free. So the first one looks like we could get paid for it. So definitely let's get paid for shooting everybody's holiday family photos for everyone I know. That sounds like a plan. My cousin, she is a photographer and she does this every holidays. She does like a mini set. So she'll take the time out and she'll set up the entire theme for the day. And she does these mini sessions for everyone where they're all going to be using the same exact props, but they're all happy with the results. Right? So they all come in and she has them in like an hour at a time, and that's as long as she has them in. And she'll do like 8 or 9 different families in just one day, and she's set up only one set, and she's like set for the holiday season. She's not big into like a lot of work, you understand? She's just dedicated to her families and to her clientele, so she does very well. So let me see what you guys are saying. Everybody's saying the same thing. Look, Paul saying, Kevin saying, shoot photos, been doing that for quite a bit this season. Yep. And like I said, we could get paid for version 1, so that's kind of a no-brainer. Paul also says the photo shoot. Kruk also says family photos. Says rather shoot family videos, no editing. Oh, you see, he put his own little twist on it, but that wasn't the question, Randy. No, I'm just messing. I will shoot the photos and then send them to Gretchen to edit. Well, that's the other thing. It says shoot the family photos, but I'm taking it in that you're also editing them. So that's part of it. But that's probably why you get paid. You understand? If you do it for free, then maybe, yeah, you just give them the raws and say, you deal with it. Okay, Kevin says, if I get to shoot the video, that's different. I don't want to comb through somebody else's video to create the story. Every editor's dilemma, right? I can tell you, I've seen so many videos of like photographers and videographers, right? Just like recording all this extra data, like, hey, there's 3,000 photos for you to go, and just handing the SD card to the editor, and he's just like dying with the SD card. like 12 hours of video. Like how much footage is it? 4 terabytes. Have fun. Like, could you imagine I'm going through 4 terabytes of video for a project, and then it's not yours? Oh, forget it. Oh my goodness. Okay, Gretchen says, finding time to create is getting easier and easier. Recorded a video in 10 minutes before the show. Did a quick edit in iMovie while you were talking and just uploaded it to YouTube. Look at that. You see? Like I said, we make the time. So that's dope. Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that. I know you're crushing this month with all the content that you're creating. So it's really cool, and I'm excited for you too. Mookie says, edit video since I can deal with that alone and concentrate. See? Mookie says he would do the videos. I kind of feel more like Kevin, like culling through somebody else's footage, and if there's a lot of it, that's like, yep, he said it right. That's like nightmare fuel. 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes, man. You'd be like, yo, like my next month is gone. Just culling. Just culling. All right. And then the last question. Would you rather have your best video of the year flop during the holidays, or have a random low effort video go viral instead? I wouldn't want what I consider my best video to flop, period. Not even during the holidays or anything. But I would have to say, who wouldn't want a random low effort video to go viral? Like, and in the viral in the good sense, because you see, I always talk about this. I don't create content that I don't ever want to go viral, right? It's like, it's not that it needs to go viral, but I don't ever plan on it, because that's why I just won't make things that have the possibility of taking off and taking my channel and like my love for creating content in that direction. And I've seen it happen to a lot of people. That's why I say I don't recommend that at all. Like, if it's not something that you're willing to do over and over and over again, if that's the video that ends up popping off, then I wouldn't put it on my channel. That's basically the way that I, break it down, because the last thing that you would want is to like make a video that has nothing to do with the content that you're creating, but then that ends up becoming the video that's like most viable for like your name, right? And it just now takes you and your content in a completely different direction. I don't recommend it. That's why I've done separate channels, because I've never wanted to mix those two. It might not have been the best idea, but it's the best for me, because it's the way that I compartmentalize those things in my mind, just the same. So that's my recommendation. I would say have low effort video, even if it's something low effort, because it's something that I would still have made with high effort. And if it takes off, then I only have to grow from there, and I will then remake that same video in medium and then high quality effort, right? And you could just start building on that. That's why I would prefer a low quality random like effort video, which is still within my niche, but just still low effort, right? Low quality, low effort, shot on an iPhone, done, like we say in Puerto Rico, al garete, just mailing it in. That's what I would prefer, because it's still in line with the content that I'm creating. And like I said, I still wouldn't want anything to flop. All right, let me see. Oh, I think I just read something. What happened to this? Yes, someone just snuck in saying, "Hi, Lewis. I'm in Nevada and you're on 2 hours earlier here." That's so cool. Well, thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you hanging out. My life's been super busy and very chaotic. My Tuesdays are always, well, all my days now are all like jam-packed full of stuff that I need to do. And I constantly feel like I'm constantly behind the 8 ball. Right? I'm always behind and I'm always trying to catch up, but that's neither here nor there. I'm so glad that I'm able to see you here tonight. I've caught a couple of your replays, but I haven't been able to catch them live. So that's cool. In Nevada, that's true. 2 hours earlier. So right now it is 9 o'clock. You're in the Vegas area. So well, thank you for hanging out. Does viral only last for a blink of an eye? Yeah, but flopping is not like that's what I'm saying. Like, have your best video of the year flop during the holidays? Oh, I forgot to turn on my fan on my Nikon, so it just told me it's a little warm in here, so I'm gonna step out, and it just shut off on me. Overheated. But that's my bad. I know that this little guy overheats, so I forgot to turn on the fan. Did I? Actually, no. I forgot to even power it on. Like, I've been using the power from the fan for the follow focus, and that's exactly what's still powered up. But neither here nor there. Not to worry about it. Randy saying hi to Sly. It goes, if the video goes viral to the right audience, sure, but viral to everyone who's in the video is not intended for is also a nightmare. You see, I think that's what we were explaining. Like, that's what I said. Like, if it's in my niche, which is low effort, that's what it'd be. But I'm not gonna make like an low effort video about like, what could I make it that's like so random? Could be anything, like a doctor's visit or something, right? Like, I go do something at a doctor's office with Aiden, and then like that'll be the video that takes off because it was just some random low effort thing, and now it has nothing to do, and my entire channel gets taken over with like, like healthcare stuff. Like that would like Kevin just said, nightmare fuel, right? Like that would be like, no, that's the last thing that I would want. So low effort, but within my niche, I'll be happy to go with it, because anything that I would put forward would be something that I wouldn't mind putting full-fledged effort into it. And having a video flop, like, you see, because I guess it doesn't make sense, because it's saying flop during the holidays. But let's say, for example, my best video of the year has to do with the Rodecaster Pro, right? It's audio visual, so that's the video that's popping off and is doing the best. I wouldn't expect the Rodecaster Pro video to like just be booming during the holidays. People are gonna be looking up gingerbread cookies and stuff like that. Like, there's a whole lot of distractions during the holidays that I guess I would understand if a Rodecaster video wouldn't be, like popping off, or what would be my best video of the year kind of flop during this holiday season time. I think that would be to be expected. But that's just the way that I think. I would think the low effort viral thing in my niche is what I would go. Gretchen says the same thing. She says low effort. I don't really know what or why something hits. And exactly, right? We never know. Yeah. It would probably depend on if it was monetized. Well, yeah. But I'll tell you the truth, a lot of viral videos is what leads people to get monetized, when they start getting all the views, and that one video carries them over that YouTube partnership program requirement threshold. And once that's done, like, you're in. And then they're going to be like, hey, your video generated all this extra revenue. We're going to be sending you a check. That's it. And that's how they start. And then the next you know, because they've made a good chunk of money off of video, they're going to try to continue to search for that, like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And they're going to constantly be making videos just like it, which is where all of those prank channels really took off, like a bunch of years ago, where people were just doing pranks, and they just had to keep wanting up, like going like even more extreme, to the point where some of these dudes are now locked up in jail in like other countries of the world, because nobody was dealing with their prank content over here, so they had to fly to like Vietnam or something to do something over there where nobody knows them, and they weren't playing the games that we were playing over here, and they got locked up, and now they've just thrown away the key. So there's a lot of things that I've seen, just researching this platform, YouTube, that's very, very interesting with content creators. So I guess just understanding that that's stuff that exists also leads me to keep like a level head and just stay on my mission and stay on my path. Because if I were to have allowed anything to sway me one way or another, I could honestly tell you I don't think the Anamorphic app would ever exist. Now that I have done videos that I wouldn't think would have impressed anyone but took off unexpectedly. Absolutely. Excuse me. Mookie saying, enjoy your Nevada time to Sly. The problem with viral is that you got to be ready once it hits. You got to follow up or you lose the opportunity. Absolutely. Which is why, like, you see, I guess that's the other thing. Like, if I were to go viral for anything, right? Hopefully this app, hey, um, that if I do go viral for anything, I think I'm in a good position. I'm ready for what comes because, like I can handle live streams. I can handle, the volume is still always, you're always going to need help when you start reaching big volumes, but I'm here for that as well. I think I'm positioned well with the people that I've surrounded myself with and have the opportunity to grow with other content creators the same way. Like, I'm really excited, guys. Like, my name is being spoken about, like behind the scenes with this app amongst content creators, and an executive from Lumix knows who I am and knows that I've created this app because of Mr. Cam Mackey's live stream just on Thursday. So it was just things that like I would have never expected, and I go pretty soon. I don't doubt that all, like, at least someone within all of these major companies that are either dealing with anamorphic or creating those lenses is gonna hear wind of like me somehow and the application that I made. So I think you can see it on my face. I'm just ecstatic for the opportunity. Yep. So then you got to niche down on that topic. Absolutely. David made it last second. Mr. Cameron, congrats on the app. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. I'm really excited about the possibilities and really proud of this. Like I said, I never would have expected it, but I'm really, really proud of myself. So says I would use that app with my Loomis cameras. Well, absolutely, because that's what Cam Mackey was using. He was using the S1 II, I think, on the live stream, and he got the app to use it right away. So yeah, like I said, I'm just excited. The cool part about the app is that your camera doesn't need to support anamorphic. It just needs to send the signal, so it just becomes kind of like whatever it is that you need to send the signal over, and the app is going to take care of everything else. And with that being said, it just gives me the ability to throw anamorphic lenses on all of my cameras, like including the Z30 that just overheated, right? You can do it. David has a question. Said, are you using the app right now? Yes, it is wide, but I'll show you full width, right? I'm going to go to the producer mode. This is full width. Or we can go into cinematic, which is we throw the black bars on there and we get in the full width anamorphic. But David, just for you, I'll show you again before we go into Cities Gone, right? If I go into the producer mode, right, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get the anamorphic, because once you have the application sending it to Ecamm, right? Let's say you're not using overlays or anything like that. I'm going to go once again into the live demo mode. All you have to do is zoom out in the pan and zoom. See? So if I declick this, right, or actually better said, if I bring it back to 0, it shows you that even though I'm using the Anamorphic app, oh, this scene doesn't have music. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's the producer mode. So at least it added the music again. But I digress. the easiest way to get the anamorphic after you've selected the camera. So if you look right over here, you can see that the camera selected has the black bars, right? The letterbox aspect on top and bottom, because it's showing you the full width. But once you select it, like you select any of these cameras, right? In your camera switcher, when you select it, it's gonna fill up the whole screen. So the way that you get the anamorphic out is by selecting your digital zoom, but instead of zooming in, you're gonna zoom out. And when you zoom out, you're gonna see more of the camera that is being hidden by that crop, so to speak. And we take this to a -12, and that's it. Now you're in anamorphic mode, and bam, and we're all set. And that's how easy it is to get in and out of anamorphic using my app and Ecamm. It's like super easy. And like I had mentioned before, for example, let's say we did not have the top and bottom graphics, right? Let's say I don't have a graphic overlay. You're just gonna see the black bars behind it, which is gonna give you that letterbox feel. So if we just go into the digital zoom, right, and we go back to 0, this is what it'll look. But even if you're using it like this, you're still getting these anamorphic aspects, and I guess what was the word? Aberrations, right? Like the effects. You're still gonna get the oval, right, bokeh in the lights, and then like let's say I get a light right here, you're still gonna get the lens flares. Like if you're in a Transformers movie with Michael Bay, you're like, right, you see those long streaks. That's anamorphic aberrations, right? With that being said, now we take the zoom and we just zoom back out to -12, I think is the one that we have here. Yep, -12. Good. And now we're getting the full width widescreen anamorphic. Everything's descosed correctly. And once again, we get those light leaks and the flares that go right across the screen. Anamorphic on a live. I'm just like, as I said, like live streaming with anamorphics, man. Oh, I love it. And then you're able to take, these scenes. Which one's this? Oh, I turned off the graphic. I'm like, why does it look weird? Boom, there we go. Because I had shut it off. And that's the anamorphic look with the, backdrop and the space for all of the comments. Kevin just as I go, the demo mode, mute the music. No, it wasn't actually demo mode. It was the producer scene. My producer scene is the only one that I don't have a dedicated camera set to it, or it's locked on my scenes window. So with that, within Ecamm, the only one that allows me to test all the cameras and everything is this one scene, which I've left raw and is still using the camera as the source. So with that being said, that scene was the only one that was muted, but I think I unmuted it now. So for future reference, we'll keep the music going. Because I've been using that scene a lot just for demo mode, just the same way. So okay, Mookie saying maybe next stream you can give an overview of or examples of the hardware, equipment, lens, connectors needed to use the app to get the look. Absolutely. Well, the thing is, like, let's say for example you've already have like a video capture card and you already have like your camera connected to it, whether it's a Sony, whether it's a Nikon, just basically any interchangeable lens camera. Even like the YOLO Live, they have like an interchangeable webcam, but neither here nor there, right? Like anything that gives you that ability, if you already have that setup connected, then the only thing you need to do in addition is change the lens to an anamorphic lens, and the other thing is run the app. That's it. So I can do that, and I will do that next week. Last week I did the same thing where I took the lens, well, it was the 65, it's just a little too tight, and I threw it onto my Nikon, and then I had the application kind of fix the image on the fly, and to show you that you can use any camera that way. So yeah, if you're using a capture card like the camera in the back over here, That one I connect via USB-C. So when I connect it, I don't need a video capture card. The camera itself will connect via USB-C and it says, do you want to connect it for live streaming? And it's like, yes. As soon as the computer, whichever one that you're using, recognizes it, that's all you need, because as soon as you switch the lens to the anamorphic, the feed is going to be squozed through the lens itself, or the image is going to be squozed through the lens, and then the camera could only display what it is being given by the lens, and it will display that squoze image, and that's when we use the app to de-squeeze and send it over NDI, and then you can use it with whatever it is. So that's how it is. Like, it's just super simple. It's mostly designed that even if your camera does not support anamorphic, you'll still be able to use those lenses in your setup. That's it. Yep. All right, and now to close things off, bam, look, it's even got a spot for it now. You see, like, all these streams are going to be just wide. So Cities God, channels that I think you should go and watch. And this week, oh, we got too many windows open. Let me see this. We minimize this, right? And now there we go. We should be looking good. There we go. All right, this week's Cities God is Mr. Connor Hildebrandt. Now, who is Connor? I wish I could give you more information, but as you can see right here, he's only got 2 videos up and going. But how did I find them? First of all, I'm a nerd, and the video that we're seeing here, the most portable camera robot ever, that one caught my eye. So absolutely, that was the video that I started watching. And then when I watched that video, I recognized that he's working with someone who's already been on Cities Gone, Mr. Kofi Yaboa. So Mr. Kofi is actually in this video right here that he posted 2 weeks ago about this robotic arm. And Mr. Connor is talking all about his endeavors with this robotic arm. Now, let you know, that's something that I want in the future. Absolutely been looking at these, and he really broke it down. You're looking about $30,000. So it's not anytime soon, but definitely these are life goals. And all I see is that if something that used to cost hundreds, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars, is now within a working field of $30,000, is really showing you how fast technology is moving, and that this is something that either will be even less expensive in the future, or also that I'd be looking into different ways that I can maybe make my own. And yes, I said make my own, with my skills in CAD, 3D printing, and electronics. Like, I wouldn't doubt it, because I can nerd out on all of that things. And the way that I see it is that if things keep, like, leading into the same way where, harder forms of, creation, so to speak, or I guess product development, are going to be easier to be done, and like 3D printing being able to be done at home, both electronics and hardware, like, I don't see why not, right? Like, if we can bring it down to 30,000, I can bring it down within even more feasible, whereas like I can build it myself and have something functional. Might not be to this level of the professional, but it might be something that could definitely be used, and it could just be a start for something new, right? Another skill that I'm adding to my utility belt. So if you haven't checked him out, which I doubt that you have, he only has 311 subscribers. This is really like a diamond in the rough, finding this content creator at such an early stage of his content creation aspect. He's got 25 videos, most of them are shorts, right? He's got 2 main videos, as you can see. But Mr. Connor Hildebrandt is this week's Cities God, channels that I think you should go and watch. And if you haven't, I would definitely tell you to check out that robot video, and he breaks down what he's doing with it and the prices that it's going to get that type of equipment going. I'm excited to see what else he's going to come up with, because I want to see his finished products, but this is something that he's using in the field as we speak right now as well. So, it's his investment, but it's something that I will be aspiring to as well. So I'm looking forward to nerding out on his content. And that is this week's Cities God. Oh, I left the Cities God thing the whole time there. Channels that I think you should go and watch. I was supposed to bring it back so then I can do that thing and then take it off. and then go back to, you know, the other, which is actually I don't even have one, the anamorphic dish shot. But we did it, guys. We've completed episode 263. And if you're wondering what that number means, let me break it down for you. 263 means that we have done this same live stream every single week, every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 263 consecutive weeks in a row without skipping a beat, rain or shine, whether I'm on the road or at home. It doesn't matter. It's going to get done. So if you want to catch the next one, make sure that you like, subscribe, mark it down on your calendar, set yourself a reminder that Mr. Camera Junkie is going to be going live at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Saturday night. And I can't wait to see you right here doing it all over next week. So everyone, take care of yourselves and each other. And I can't wait to see all of your smiling faces while we do it all over again right here. And I got to tell you, you guys are the best. You guys rock. And you guys are the reason why I do this every single week. So 263 and counting over 5 years of this live stream consecutive. And it's just like, it feels just like when we started, guys. At least it does for me. So if you're new here, subscribe so you catch the next one. And until then, talk to you.